I mean, I know you have your outline, but
Sure.
at what point are you really honing in on that dialogue?
When I'm doing the outline, I'm not, if I have a line that comes up, I'll throw it in just for my own sake, so I remember it. But I'm running those scenes in my head, about what people are going to say, and the characters, and when this is the first time you're going to sit down and craft the scene. So you two have never been together, and I have to write it. And if I stay in that character's voice in my head, for the most part, it'll continue through. But then you do another pass and redefine it and say, man, they really wouldn't say that, and this and that. So first draft is good for that, is to being with your characters and sort of sussing out the first time. And it may not be perfect, it won't be, about their voice, because you got to get a handle on that for the different characters. It helps, like when you do your character profiles, if you decide to sit down like an actor would and really suss it out, to think of how this character speaks, what their point of view is, things like that. Because many times I do read scripts and you could take the names off from characters and they kind of sound like the same person. And that's not what you don't want. It should be like you take the names off and I go, I know who that is. Oh, I know who this is. It has to be that distinct, because otherwise it just all blends into people just saying things, and people don't speak the same way,
And at what point do you thin out the dialogue, or maybe you don't need to, in that you start to read it and go, this just sounds too, like people wouldn't really say this. Let me thin this out, have it be more monosyllabic.
Second draft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or usually gets the notes about cut this speech, or, cut the first line out, you're saying the same thing. And that's, it's second draft should be more, redefining, not like throw that out. Let's, and I've worked on scripts like that, as a script doctor, where it's like, this is completely, see everything that you're reading here? Yeah, you can't use it. Oh, gives you the title, the character names, everything's got to recalibrate, rewritten. So second draft is great for going through that and polishing up, and then, you put it away for a week and you come back to it and it really is glaring, like, did I write that? It bumps for me. This character doesn't sound like, and many times people find it's good to speak the dialogue aloud, or have table reads where they can hear it, like they do with plays. It's like, that doesn't quite sound like that character. And then an actor is a good person for that, to really, read it and go, this kind of doesn't, you know what I mean? Even like in a reading, an actor would take the character in and go, this doesn't sound right. Okay. As you're workshopping it, type of thing.
Right. If someone can't get a bunch of actors together for whatever reason, would it be helpful maybe to speak into a tape recorder, their iPhone?
Oh, sure. And the software has, you can put it will read the script for you and you can listen. So, but the voice is okay, But yeah, it'd be good. I speak, the dialogue, people probably, what's that guy talking to himself, Like, I'm crazy, I decided to be a writer,
At least people leave you alone on the street.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm writing constantly in my head,
How do you know you're getting the dialogue right?
Again, a feel, personally for me, it's a feel and sound, and vision about you have to really know your characters to write each one individually and what they would say, and more importantly, what they would not. A lot of time dialogue is written and I see a scene and I'm like, this character doesn't have to say that line. Let them emote, with, 60 feet on the screen with a look, rather than, you want to err on action first and dialogue second, so dialogue's extremely important, but that shouldn't drive it shouldn't drive the narrative by people speaking, because most of the time people don't say what they mean, so a lot of times it's going to be like the subtext below that about what they really mean, And dialogues, it's hard to do well. You read things and like I said, you've got characters that all sound the same. And it's just sort of like it sits there on the page and it's not, I could strip the name off and I would go, they both sound like the same person. So it takes time, and like we discussed earlier about maybe, tape it, with your phone or something and listen back. And if it doesn't sound, this is the thing about sound, the way people talk, their diction, what they would say and what they wouldn't say, what they would reveal and not,
The tone.
The tone.
Sure.
Exactly.
Because you could say one thing and it would sound completely friendly and kind,
Sure.
and another, and it's just a matter of tone.
And then when you start working with actors, that's like the workshop level, because they'll take your piece and go, okay, and then internalize it and then go, this doesn't, because I've seen it on sets where the actor's like, this doesn't work for me. I need to change this. And it's like, okay, as long as it's not too changed, because, you take that line out earlier, we're not talking about big rewrite, but, internalizing it and saying, because now I know my character wouldn't really say that. And you go, okay, that's fair, In writing it, I thought it would, and now on the set, it doesn't work, so there's that thing. So it's constant evolving, entity is the screenplay, because you're shooting it for the first time, and, it's creative process. There's choices made on the set all the time.